Good evening. Welcome to sixth, seventh, whichever way you want to look at it, round of the CM0102 Super League. Um, a bit of a shorter one this evening due to sort of odd fixture congestion internationally. Players getting called up, matches getting postponed, and then still players not being available, even though they're international games, etc. So not entirely sure what's going on here, but sure we'll it'll even out over the course of the season. Evening Dan, good to see you. Happy to have you here, and evening Steve as well. That's the first lineup of the evening. I think you asked to go first, Fulchester, against Vikings. So we can dive straight into this one, of obviously. Um, so yeah, and Alf is here as well. Alf, if you're listening, you need to pick someone else instead of Olivier Dacour, who was suspended. So you can ponder that one for a bit. You do have Amazon obviously available, Kale as well, but you can have a look at it. But Dacour suspended. Um, good, good. It's been quite eventful. If it a bit of a slow start to the season, obviously. Five he's been kind enough to cover, but hopefully now we'll get back into the to sort of a decent rhythm. Um, yeah, and hope you're feeling well, Falf. Sorry about the bananas. I misread that completely. So you're lacking potassium, not not leaking it. So stay away from the bananas. Um, Emerson, excellent. Okay, thanks very much. Um, Good. Yeah, as mentioned, a little bit of a sort of stop start to the season, but hopefully we'll start picking up the pace now. It's been good news for Fulchester so far. We'll start by Fulchester and Vikings, two teams who've had a brilliant start to the season, obviously. Um, let's see if we can convince the game to actually let us do this. Bunch of stuff about Iran and other things. Let's see. Fulchester, we've got them here. Great start to the season for them. A little bit unexpected, obviously. Hello, Dimble. A little bit unexpected, I think it's fair to say. Didn't do a huge amount in the transfer window, but one thing they did do was bring in Roy Keane, and that's worked out pretty well for them. Um, Robbie Keane as well has not had a terrible start to the season. Olise Davy as well. They found some goals there for somehow. I mean, it's one of those things. The numbers don't particularly add up, but he has been effective. So that's been good news for Fulchester, and they find themselves in second place. They were actually, I believe, were they in first? Yeah, they were in first last time out. But yeah, it's been good for them. The same can be said for the Vikings, for their opponents this evening. Oh, why are we doing this? Do we have to do this now? Bear with me a second. I'll just get through all of these news things. There we go. Um, the same for the Vikings. They've had a decent start to the season. perhaps a little bit unexpected as well, but maybe less so considering the previous record that the Viking side had under Jens previously. Obviously, finalists, I believe, a couple of seasons back, and not that much have changed in the squad. Some strengthening and some not so much strengthening has been going on, of course, but each manager tries to do things differently, and it's worked out okay for Vikings. Obviously, the most inspired signing of the summer so far was Nedved, his 6-4, but unfortunately had to go off injured, and he's out for a little bit now, 3 weeks with strained knee ligaments. It's not easy getting older, but. Do they have what it takes to replace him? Esther Barria comes in. Um, we will see. It's going to be a tough one this evening against Fulchester. But we'll start with this one, as promised. Fulchester against the Vikings. Fulchester at home, Vikings in their lovely away kit. See if Roy Keane can continue to impress for Fulchester. It was Oli Zadebe as well. As mentioned there in the beginning, he has top scorer with 4, same as Nedved. But it's Shevchenko. It's another one who's found a bit of form this season, who opens the scoring, and it's for the Vikings. They've taken the lead 1-0 away from home. Fulchester's not really created a whole lot so far. Most dangerous have definitely been the Vikings, but Hussein was getting involved there for Fulchester. Um, Roy Keane now coming forward, and there's always a debut, but good defensive display from the Vikings so far, keeping the opponents at bay. Hersey with a good shot there. Yeah, it's been an interesting first half, mainly in Vikings' favor. A little bit surprising actually. I didn't think it was that one-sided, but apparently that's where we're at with the stats. Vikings lead 1-0. Liverani not done particularly well, but everyone else has put in a really good shift. I'm not sure I can see Steve making any changes at this point. Ferdinand's on a yellow, but he'll probably manage. Meanwhile, Fulchester does not really found their feet this evening. Materazzi's doing well in defence. Yeah, struggling a little bit offensively, as was often the case last season. Sort of decent enough defensive displays. Ayala uncharacteristically on a 6, but his sort of combined 4 or 5 players there not really doing particularly well. Jack Gattis has done better earlier this season. Dan says move the wing backs up to wingers, please. So we shall do that. Presume maintain the short arrow. Yeah, not really. Viduka, I mean, as was the case last season, not really blessed with a bunch of attacking options on the bench. Viduka is there, of course, but unlikely to sort of revolutionize things. And Steve says as is, so that's how we're gonna roll until 60. Very fast is the speed. Oh, sorry, fast is the speed. First 5 minutes, nothing really happening. Here comes Fulchester though. Ferdinand collects the ball, continue his sort of relatively impressive display from the first half. Um, Not that much in terms of passing, but very good tackling from him, which is obviously what you want to see. Again, Shevchenko finds himself in some space, but there's Terry, both central defenders for Vikings now on yellow cards. Yala, who was it who came in there? Yeah, a little bit more from Fulchester in the second half. Nothing from Vikings so far. They're still doing very, very well. Volodenkov's on a 9. Arca on the other side is on an 8. If there's any concern to be had, it's probably around the yellow cards on the central defenders. Just half an hour to play though. So maybe they'll manage to stay on. You never know. In terms of the options on the bench, not really a direct replacement. Liverani's also been struggling a little bit. Maybe we'll see Sorochinski in action, but we'll wait and see what Steve says to this. Meanwhile, we pop over to Fulchester, and Dan wants longer arrows, and he wants Viduka for Hussein, trying to get some crosses in. And meanwhile, Vikings, as mentioned, go for Solochinsky for Liverani, who was on a 6 and hadn't been doing much. Guess that's where we're at. Vikings have half an hour. They need to hold on to this. Fulchester have half an hour to obviously try and get that equalizer and potentially a winner. obsessed with looking at the wingers here. Let's kick this one off and see who gets the better of the last 30 minutes. First chance fell to the Vikings. I believe it was Shevchenko getting involved. There was a yellow card for Robbie Keane. Olisa David now comes forward. Terry is involved. Lime picks up a yellow card. Plenty of yellow cards in this one, especially here in the second half. There's another one for Ayala. We'll just slow this down for the last 10 minutes. And there is Viduka. Inspired substitution by the manager. Long arrows on the winger. Someone came up with a good cross, and Viduka was there to equalise. Vikings trying their best now. It was Shevchenko, but he had run offside apparently. Olisa Davy, one of the big names from Fulchester so far this season, trying to come forward there. Another yellow card being shown, probably the fifth or the sixth of this evening, and it all kind of fizzles out. But yeah, good comeback for Fulchester there. Good tactical changes made by the manager. Certainly paid off. Four yellow cards though. That's that's obviously um, showing some dedication. We'll have a look at the Viking stats first. Um, Not a huge amount changed. Obviously, Julio Arca picking up a man of the match on an 8. That's never the best, but good match for Shevchenko as well. And a hard fought battle here, fair to say. Vikings, of course, missing Nedved a little bit. Esteberia came on, didn't do too badly. No key passes, though, and also only one shot, not even on target. But decent enough, a point away from home from Vikings. Fulchester, I believe, will probably be sort of relatively happy with this, considering how it was looking with just 30 minutes to play to turn it around and actually get a point here with against Vikings. Definitely not a bad showing for them. Roy Keane, again, solid performance. Picks up a yellow, which means that he only gets a 7, but it's 11 out of 14 tackles that he's won there in midfield and had kept himself busy. And Mark Viduka on the score sheet, so probably maybe he'll be the fantasy striker next time out for Fulchester. But a good and interesting start to the evening here with Fulchester and Vikings sharing the spoils 1-1. We have got a sort of a toss up between Foss Road and Sloths and East Coast and Exiles. Probably going to go with East Coast and Exiles, as that's the one that the game has thrown up here. I'm not sure if Smuts will be here, otherwise Duggan. I guess the brains behind the operation might wanna chip in, but we'll go with East Coast against Exiles first, and see how that goes. Exiles, of course, first in the table after beating Fulchester 4-1. Brilliant start to the season for Neil's Exiles side. They have had brilliant starts to the season in the past, and obviously fallen away a little bit after that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can do it now. Vieri is a problem. He's out for 2 weeks with a damaged shoulder, and it's Nikos Maklas who comes on instead, and it's going to try to get the goals for them here. But we'll see how that goes as they take on East Coast. Have I forgot to do a change for East Coast? I'm just going to double check here. How has that not saved itself? I believe it's like this. Romeo in for Constantino and Amoroso on the bench. Indeed. Apologies for that. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Hopefully, I'll double check. I'll double check other stuff to see if there's any other slip through the cracks. But I believe this is okay. East Coast, for a bit of a poor start to the season. The first three games, they only had one win, but of course they had the Sanctay game, the Stanley game, and now they play Exiles. Another 3 points here, and they will be back where they were looking very comfortable last season. Closer towards the top of the table. Down in fifth place at the moment with a game in hand. But yeah, definitely on the up if you're going to form for the last couple of games here. So we'll kick this one off with East Coast hosting Exiles. Um, and it's a very ambitious start for East Coast here. Had a couple of good chances in the first 10 minutes. Exiles holding firm though at the back. There was a third big chance for them. Half an hour coming up now. There's Romero again. He's been heavily involved for East Coast. Nikos Maklas' names popped up a couple of times yet to threaten the keeper, I think. And there is Kovalchuk, the unlikeliest of scorer for East Coast, putting them ahead 1-0 here on 36 minutes as we approach half time. Exiles probably hoping for a little bit more after that good result last time out, but the East Coast, once they get into their stride, they're a difficult side to beat, obviously. We've got 6-3 for East Coast, 2-2 for Exiles, home side, sort of fairly comprehensively in control of this one, especially in the air. Only 16% of headers won for Exiles. Not looking particularly good for them. Um, yeah, that's also not looking particularly good. A bunch of sixes here. Cordoba, Casano, Charlie Chaos, Marklas, everyone is running around on sixes, more or less. Just Mike Duff, the keeper, and Nesta, Smooch, and Raul looking a little bit better here at half time. Meanwhile, East Coast, a great start to the game for Arjen Robben. He is on a 9 already, getting that assist. Kovalchuk, of course, on an 8 after getting the goal as well. Good passing game from him. 2. Saley is doing well in the central midfield. Only Rustico is on a 6. And Dimble says as is. So that's what we are going to roll with up until 60. East Coast kicking off here the second half, 5, 6, 7 minutes in. Nothing really happening. There comes Zanetti forward. There's Emerson to Romeo to Kovalchuk again. Will he get his second blasted towards the top corner? But it was a good save by the Exiles keeper. Here comes Robin though. Romeo with a header. Nesta clears the ball. Exiles absorbing a lot of pressure at the moment as we come up to the hour mark. East Coast with another chance. It's Kovalchuk and Robin combining again. There's Kuhl as well getting involved. But there's going to be not a yellow card. Bartes has the ball, sends it out for something or other. And it's 60 minutes played. East Coast 8 and 5 now. Exile still 2 and 2. Not improving for them really. Charlie Case is down on a 5 now. Duff and Cordoba on 6s. Nesta's on an 8, so someone is helping the keeper down at the other end, but they're really not creating anything. We'll see if East Coast can hold on to this. It looks likely. We'll see if they want to make any changes as well. Sambrotta's on a 6. Fitness wise, there's nothing to worry about. Performance wise, it looks as if everyone is sort of getting their fair share, apart from Gianluca Sambrotta, who for some reason just isn't really doing it this evening. But the manager says roll, so that's what we're going to do. See if East Coast can hold on. It's a slender lead, 1-0, but as mentioned, they have been in control and looked far more likely to get a second and seal the deal here. It's Robin, it's Zanetti. We'll slow down just for the last 5 minutes here. Just as we do that, it's the equalizer for Exiles. Even Cordoba with his first goal of the season. I think it's probably only Exiles' third shot on target. They didn't look to have had anything in the second half at all. And here they come again. Cordoba dribbles past Thuram and Rustico has to bring him down. They get a free kick. So Roberto sends it in, but Bartes collects it. Just a couple of minutes left to play now. Emerson Saley is combining, coming forward, goes past Cordoba. Zanetti has it now. There's Emerson, but Vargas tackles it. It's a yellow card, and that is how it ends. Exiles with a bit of a sucker punch there, only their third shot of the game, finding the back of the net, and Exiles will look to rue the missed chances there. Um, yeah, Charlie K is only on a 5. Did anyone get an assist? It was Sir Roberto, obviously. One of their very, very much key players this season. He's been pretty much unstoppable. Excellent performance from him this season, and good performance from him this evening, getting the assist, and Cordoba, another unlikely goal scorer, getting the equalizer there. Ian Robin, man of the match, with an assist and a shot on target. He got a 9. Kovalchuk with an 8. Romero only an 8. 5 and 2. They'll be wanting to have Constantino back as soon as possible. Not a brilliant result for East Coast this one. Also not the worst. It is the league leaders they were up against, but the manager had no doubt hoped for a little bit better. But there we are. East Coast and Exiles. That is a 1-1 draw. Coming up next, we shall do the sloths. Amazon comes on instead of the core. We have done that. Apart from that, few changes for Spartak Sloths. They've got Battaglia, who's joined, coming up from the reserves. Kiel for the core. We will do that. No problem, Ralph. Maicon comes in. He had an 8 in his first outing for the club as well. Dunwell starts next to Kesman Sadov behind them. A bit of a flatter DMC line here for Sloths. No one in central midfield, just Biscan with the arrow there. Kale, Biscan and Battaglia, that DMC line. Toneto has had a decent start to the season, 7.5 average. Yeah, overall, just maybe looking to get a little bit more out of someone like Sadov, who has had plenty of assists for his clubs in the past, or plenty of goal involvement. Perhaps not in this iteration of the Super League, but certainly in the past has done well and can do well, but not really found his sort of impactful boots for Sloths yet. Emerson Placenta and Hasimedovic, I believe, on the bench for Sloss. We'll see if we see any of them in action. They're up against Foss Road. As mentioned, I have not seen Mr. Smuts about. Duggan was here earlier, so Duggan, if you're still here, feel free to to chip in, of course, and we'll see how it goes. Um, Foss Road, meanwhile, looks as if I've also not done save the changes for them, so bear with me. Um, that's kind of odd, but anyway, it's just a change in the DMC line. Cambiaso, Gerard, and Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, otherwise as is. Um, so those are the unicorns. Um, has it been a good start for the season for them? Not really, I guess, but also not the worst. I mean, 9 points from six. Could be better, could be worse in terms of how they've actually played. They beat Los Santos 2-1 away. That's a good result. They beat Stanley 2-0 away. That's a good result. The start of the season was a little bit iffy, but they have obviously had a fair share of away games as well. 2 home games to 4 away games. Now they got Slots at home and then Stackington away, Dudley away. It could go a little bit better if we look at the standings in a few games time. Slots could have picked up another 6-7 points here in the next 3 games. So maybe that's the turning point for their season. But we'll see how they go this evening, up against Sloths, obviously. Um, and here we go. Third game of the evening, it's Foss Road against the Sloths. Joe Cole's had a decent start to his time with Foss Road for sure, but Nistelrooy has been looking fairly dangerous as well. No goals as of yet though this evening. He left Rapoulos in the Sloths goal. Um, Another solid performer. But here it's a lot of Foss Road coming forward. Ronaldinho was there as well. Um, Dunwell doing his best for Sloths. That's the first time I've seen a striker pop up for Sloths. Not seen anything yet really of Sadov. There comes Oh, that was Seedorf with a chance, but he missed it, and there's Ronaldinho opening the scoring for Foss Road. Um, Unsurprisingly, in terms of goal scorer, considering the Cordoba and Kovalchik that we had in the last game, here comes Slothso with a couple of chances on their own, but it's been mainly Foss Road in the first 45 minutes, 5-2 Sloths on 3-1. We'll have a look at the Sloth stats. It's been a poor start for Yap Stam. Not won a single of his 3 tackles. Not sure what's going on there. I'm not sure if we'll see him pulled off. Normally doesn't like players on a 5, but Yap Stam, he's the captain. Maybe he'll be allowed to stay on. Apart from that, it's not been too bad actually. Kale's on a yellow already. Dunwell and Sadov, both on sixes. Not been the best. We'll have a quick look at the condition as well. Everyone, oh, Mycon's down on 82 already. So yeah, something to think about for the manager there maybe as well. Not the best first half for Sloths, not the worst. And of course, things can turn around in the second. Placenta and Emerson are two pretty strong players to have on the bench, and Eldar as well could come in with his great finishing, could potentially come in that AMC role or even replacing Dunwell. So plenty of options for slots. We'll see what the manager says. And meanwhile, we'll have a look at Foss Road. Yeah, David Beckham's on a 9, got the assist as well. not not often we see Beckham with such a dominant display, and Ronaldinho being incredibly selfish, taking all 5 shots for Foss Road, leaving nothing for Van Nistelrooy or anyone else to enjoy. As mentioned, Duggan or Smuts, if you are here, then do feel free to uh, provide your input. Alf's roll till 60, so we'll just give it another couple of seconds, just in case there are any representatives from the other side. Smart says this is perfect, excellent. Presume everyone's watching the football. I don't know how it's going, but the Champions League is on. I noticed. As is excellent. Slowing it down till 60. Beckham trips Biscam. Not sure if anything came of it in terms of free kicks or anything. It looked as if they just played on. Fair enough. Dunwell straight offside. That's the first action for Sloth in the second half. Not looking promising. 6 minutes in. Biscam gets a warning for tripping someone. Beckham again is really throwing himself about Beckham in this game, which I guess is what his manager would like to see. Plenty of crosses. Van Nistelrooy there. There was certainly a strong player for him to connect with in terms of Van Nistelrooy and of course also Ronaldinho. We've reached the 60-minute mark and it's Hofland, it's Van Bronckhorst, Beckham, and there is Totti. Good save by the Slots keeper though. And a corner kick is coming up in just a second. 7-3 Foster Road's been all over the second half, all over Slots in the beginning of the second half as well. Yapstam still on a 5. The attackers are not doing particularly well. We'll see if we'll see some changes from the manager now. Mycon's still on 80 fitness though, so that's kind of promising and okay. But in terms of creativity, it's not been brilliant from the front three: Kessman, Dunwell, and Seedorf. 7, 6, and 6 between them. Toneto and Mycon's done their best, but they've yet to have a real impact in terms of key passes. Just a one for Toneto. Meanwhile, Foster Road, everything's looking fine. Sevens and eights, no fitness concerns. Oya back and Trezeguet on the bench. Not sure if the manager is going to opt for throwing on any of them. Maybe Ruud van Nistelrooy has been sort of pretty quiet, but seems a bit harsh to pull him as well, considering he's in good fitness. Somehow he's managed to lose 6 out of his 7 headers, though, which is kind of embarrassing for a fella his size, but there you go. Smut goes as is as well. So we'll go back to slots again and we'll see what Alf wants to do at this particular moment in time. Meanwhile, I can check the Facebook. I can check the oh, we're half time in the Champions League. Not looking brilliant for Napoli. 0-0. Guy sent off on 21. De Bruyne out as well. Newcastle holding Barca. Not bad. Aha, indeed. Good, good. Plenty to consider here, obviously. Um, Suspect we'll see Elda. Seedorf to MC. Dunwell off for this fella. Behind Kessman. Like this, potentially. Trying to pull a bit more narrow just to drive a sort of a wedge into that Foss Road defense potentially. We'll see if it'll work out. Seedorf probably performing a little bit better in that MC role rather than at AMC. And Alf says okay for this one. So let's go with the last half hour and see if things are about to change for Sloths. Obviously, Exiles had that great comeback in the last game against East Coast, just securing a 1-1 with a couple of minutes left to play. And it looks a little bit better for Slots. They had created a couple of chances, but unfortunately for them, Van Nistelrooy finally finds some space and he makes it 2-0. And that could be all she wrote with only 10 minutes left to play. The Sloths, who had a couple of chances just after the hour mark and the changes were made, seems to have fallen off a little bit here, but they are coming back in it towards the end. Keel was there, Kessman was there, and Toneto to Eldar. Uh, but they threatened, but not in a particularly threatening way, I guess. 10-5 for Phosphorus lost. Definitely not out of the game at all. 5-3, just not really cynical enough up front. Seedorf ends up on a 6. Hazime Hamadovic on a 6 as well. A good game for Biscan though. That's kind of promising. Stam for sale. Stam on a 5. Disappointing there. He has been solid. I mean, 7 average. It's not been bad, but yeah, that's not the best performance from him this season, obviously. Foster Road, meanwhile, it's going to be Beckham on a 10 with an assist and a ton of tackles and passes, 4 key passes. Very creative performance, very good creative performance by him. Ruud van Nistelrooy with the goal ends up in an 8. Swapping for an all-day breakfast. Version 3 next match. We'll see. Maybe back to the narrow. Who knows? Wingers are doing well though, 8s and 7s. They are doing pretty decent, and Keelan Biscan seem to have done well in the center of the park as well. So maybe I throw on an extra AMC or something. Um, Alex's game for stuff. Good, 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 good. We have got Badgers against Haggis, and we have got Stanley against Staggington. We are missing Tato, who is doing some kind of swimming thing, apparently. And we are missing Mike, who asked to go later, or as late as possible. Um, I'm not sure who's closest to home or closest to be online of those two, but I can see that Alex is definitely here. So maybe we will go Stanley against Stackington. Stanley down now in eighth place. Let's do Stanley now, just because there's a bit of a story here. And they definitely have changes that also haven't been saved for whatever reason. But let me fix that. Um, right. I'm not entirely sure what happened to this version of the save file, but I'll leave you with a loading screen for just a second while I do the changes here for our old friend Mike and his Red Rose side. We have Molina coming up from the reserves into the goalkeeper position. Then we have Gary Neville joining the central defense. We have Ronnie Johnson swapping to the bench. Ronaldinho misses out for Guilherme. Ronaldo picks up sub 4. And we have more changes to make as well. Sorry, you can't see any of this, can you? There we go. We'll bring that back. We have more. We have Chewy goes off for Justin Walker, and Petkovic out for Piero, and Mandavikia for Kili Gonzalez. I believe those were the changes that were made. Yes. So plenty of swaps here for for the shrimps. Red Rose Stanley, yes. As I was saying, interesting start to the season for them. Obviously, didn't lose in the first four, and now they've lost 2-0 in a row. Home against Stackington, good time to turn things around and get back above the dotted line. 11 points. If they can be on 11 after this one, it'll still be a spectacular start to the season for Stanley, especially considering the players at their disposal and the reputation that they have in the Super League. Obviously, as not being the most attractive and a wanted side. But yeah, we will do a Red Rose Stanley lineup like this. They are, as mentioned, up against Stackington. Gary Neville picks up the captain's armband. That seems fair. Looks like we've got a couple of changes to make for Stackington as well. So we shall do that. Oh, there's a new tactic as well, isn't there? Just a second. Um, and once again, apologies for this. Um, I'm not sure what happened to the save file in this particular instance. Um, because this was definitely done. I mean, it doesn't matter to you, but this was definitely done because I remember renaming the tactic file for Stackington, etc. But well, sometimes it's like that. Let's see if we can match up the squad here. Oh, just in time. Um, Yeah, just in time. Good job you got here early, and good job that I've screwed up the save file and not saved any of the actual tactics. So I'm sitting here doing them live, which is obviously brilliant. Um, right. This fella goes in goal. Hargreaves goes to the bench. Gronkia goes to the bench as well, and the last one is Defoe. In terms of the lineup, Anelka, Eto, Oliveira, Rivaldo, Finn, Guigo, Rockenbach, Voigt, Viali, Costa, and Given is all good to go. Good, 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 good. Yes. Apologies for this. Hopefully, not too much time wasted. A couple of minutes. Stackington start to the season, by the way. Let's quickly look at that as well. Very similar. Um, yes, Mike, I did. I did. Plenty of changes. Kili Gonzalez in. Everything is done. Don't worry. Esteban, still the goalkeeper. Whoever it was, Molina up from the reserves. All is done. Don't worry. Um, and yeah, and this is where we're at. As mentioned, Stackington, similar start to the season. They have 9 points though, and a game in hand, so not too bad, not too bad. But yeah, new goalkeeper, joined from Haggis, gets a number. Galca still a set piece taker. I believe this is what it should look like. You've got Guillermo in, Kili Gonzalez in, Del Piero in, Walker in, and whoever it was, Neville in, and then Ronnie's on the bench, and Molina's on the as well, and Ronaldo. So those I think were the changes. So hopefully that's correct. So that's what we're looking at. Let the boys settle. Well, let's see. Let's see if they settle this evening. Stanley against Atkinson coming up. Oh, absolutely nothing happened for 20 minutes, and then Kelly Gonzalez got injured. I presume. I mean, I don't want to presume anything. Um, straight swap for Ronaldo potentially. He joined. He's unhappy for some reason, having just joined the club, and now he's injured. So yeah, bad news. Sorry about that. Yeah, Ronaldo for a straight swap. We'll do that. So not entirely sure here what happened the first 20 minutes, other than Keely Gonzalez picking up an injury. Um, it's only 59 though, so he's probably back sooner rather than later. But yeah, let's see if we can get some chances actually. If this can be a catalyst for some action, and indeed it can. Lee Young Pyo, Phil Neville, Gary Neville, perhaps getting involved there. Ronaldo as well. He had a good start to the season. Ronaldo, I think his last couple of games, of course, not brilliant, but a decent start to the season. Certainly scored. We'll see if he can add to that this evening. Finnan picks up a yellow card. Guillermo comes forward. Ronaldo as well. It looks as if most of the chances have has definitely been for Stanley. Good save by Given, was always a pain in the neck for the opposition. Yeah, Stanley 6-3. Staggington not at a sniff at all. 0-0. And 24% of headers won. Not what the manager wanted to see. Um, Costa's on a yellow, Finn's on a yellow, sixes and sevens across the board. Shea Given can hold his head up high. He's hanging around on an eight. We've got Hargreaves, Gronke, and Defoe on the bench, ready to come on and cause havoc for Stackington here, if that should be required. Poof, everyone, all nine, still on 90% fitness. They just haven't done anything really. Um, so yeah, not brilliant. Not brilliant for Stackington. Meanwhile, Stanley, looking better for them. Um, Gary Neville's on an eight. Average rating wise is probably more or less the same, but at least they've dominated. At least they've had the six shot, three of them on target as well. So yeah, good enough. First half performance for them. Just need the goal. Just need the goal. Staggington are making changes. It's Finnan coming off for Gronke. It's alongside Oliveira at AMC, please. Like this. And Mike says, as is. Gronke for Finland, Eto alongside Oliveira at AM. Great. Good. Excellent. Second half coming up. Finland is being replaced. Bit of a swap at the AMCs. And looks as if the first chance of the second half is going to go Stanley's way. Ooh, pushing in the chest is a red card. Grunkard was who instigated this, started the fight with someone, and then Etu Etu came and joined in and wanted a piece of the action and pushed someone in the chest, picked up a red card. I presume centralized Oliveira. MC with a long arrow. Okay, excellent. And of course, Mike, if you want to make any changes, slowly turning into Foss Road, merging into one. Your hair will flop down like Smart's next instead instead of your sort of proud hat style. It'll turn into sort of a draped scarf or something like that. That'll be the next stage. Anyway, play on, says Mike. We'll do that up until 60. Oh, and it's a superb Stanley goal by Ronaldo from AMC. Oh, indeed, indeed, indeed. It's dark days at Stackington, and it's looking bright for Stanley. And there is Lee Young Pyo. Perfect goal for him there as well. And it's all gone pear-shaped for Stackington after that. Or has it? Has it? There is Anelka putting a goal back just on 60 minutes. Came in off the post. All the action here in the first 15 minutes. That's got to be the most goals we've had in those 15 second half minutes since we started doing them on slow. 8 and 5 for Stanley Stackington. Shot hasn't registered yet. Presume it will, as it definitely hit the back of the net. Anelka is still on a 6. Yeah, it hasn't updated yet in terms of the average rating either, but that will come shortly. It was Viali with the assist of all people. Grunke down on a 5. Plenty to consider for the manager. Obviously, Jermaine Defoe is an option, but taking off Anelka would not be brilliant, especially considering that he's just scored. Hargreaves, who knows? He could potentially come in for, I guess, Guigu, Rockenbach, or Voigt, but they are all actually doing decent-ish. Apart from Voigt, maybe could maybe see Hargreaves for him. Who knows? Anyway, while Alex considers that, we'll have a look at Stanley, who got the assist. It was Giannichetta, and Ronaldo is now on a 9 with an assist and a goal from AMC with the arrow. Great performance from the big man with the triangular haircut. Um, Doing excellently for Red Rose Stanley here in this formation. A little bit worrying for them though that they conceded. Let's see. Grinks comes off for Hargreaves. Uh, Voigt for Guigu. Like this, potentially. And Mike says play on. Excellent. Let's see. Interesting last half hour coming up. Who can get the fourth goal of the evening? I guess it'll be. Will it be Stackington equaliser, or will Stanley be able to take advantage now when fitness starts to tell? It's Guillermo scoring on his debut for Stanley. 3-1 now. Uncharacteristically poor from Given in the goal. It's not often that he concedes that many, or it hasn't been of late anyway. And it's Ronaldo with his 5th of the season. That's him to the top of the top scorers chart. 4-1 Stanley now, and they'll be moving up the table. Brilliant performance from the home side. 16 and 12. Stackington 2 and 1 in reply. Assist for Giannichetta. Assist for Lee Young Pyo, assist for Ronaldo, 6 and 4, and a 10 coming on for Kili Gonzalez. Guillermo looks superb in game. He does indeed. He has plenty of 19s, plenty of 20s. Never really got a chance at Haggis, but he looks very much useful. And evening, Tato. Excellent timing. Saved you till the end. So yeah, it looks good. Meanwhile, Stackington, let's not dwell too much on it. Good performance from Stanley. Stackington picked up a ton of yellows and a red. Let's see what it was. I think someone pushed someone. Aha, Grenke upended Paredes, got a yellow card, and then for some reason to attack the guy who'd been fouled, which is fine, of course, but you do get a red for that occasionally. So there we go. Brilliant performance from from Stanley, and a bit of an all over the place one for Stackington. Commiserations to Alex, and well done to Stanley. Last game of the evening. Good timing, Tato, as mentioned. Uh, you're up against Haggis. I will have to double check all of this because oh no, here is Color Jacks. So this I've done. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here. I've changed the tactic and everything for Haggis, so that's fine. So they look like they're okay. They've made some changes. Westerveld, new goalkeeper. Hippie has come in as well. And Kala Shaks, the three big signings. Lundberg, Aguero is there as well. Indeed, the fourth signing. Is it 4 new players he's got in the starting lineup? Goalkeeper, central defender, central midfielder. Yeah, all the way down the spine. 4 new names have joined, and we'll see how they do for Haggis this evening. He's obviously desperate to change his fortunes after a pretty poor start to the season. Beat Dudley last time out though, but Badges difficult opponents here. And Haggis, as mentioned, not had the best start to the season, but plenty of transfer activity, new faces coming in, and they will see if that changes anything for the boys from Scotland. A ton of squad numbers to be assigned. Casillas gets a number as well. He's new. Yeah, all looking very good. Badges, meanwhile, let's see if I have not done the changes. I probably haven't. You missed this, Tato. So give me a second here. It was a Gat from Mendieta. I think that was the only one. A Gat from Mendieta and roll. Indeed, it was. Indeed, it was. Excellent. Badges started off not brilliantly, a little bit like Haggis. They've had a good result last time out, 4-1. And the last three have not been too bad, actually. They play Haggis tonight, then they've got Los Santos, Stackington, Exiles, three away games coming up, none of them particularly easy. It's going to be a bit of a tough run for them. We will see how they fare with those games coming up. Is Badgers hosting the Haggis? Let's kick this one off. Ryan Giggs has been selected as captain. Fair enough. Um, let's see. Badgers piling on the pressure from the very first minute. Giggs comes forward. A Gat was involved earlier down the right hand side. Carlos Jacques. Hag is obviously hoping to get him back on goal scoring form after being dropped so dramatically at LSK. Manager who proclaimed he was one of his favourites. He was the top scorer. Is that Matty Holland? Okay, it was disallowed. Fair enough. Um, is Matt Holland actually playing? Is that deliberate? Did I anyway? Um, Solid first half from Badgers. They've definitely had the most of the chances, but it's Montella. Oh no, he does not. Two disallowed goals in this one so far from Holland and from Montella. Didier Gat goals. Ashley Lyth, tons of players combining shots at both ends. I'm struggling to keep up. Good save by A though in the Badgers goal. Baumer picks up a yellow card. Montella now comes forward. Um, but then it's clumping now. Oh, what Jens Jeremies does what Jens Jeremies does best. Plays really well and that gets sent off. Not ideal. Far from ideal, obviously. Um, yeah, decent game for a 0-0 this. I'm not sure if Campbell's still around. He was here for the first minute. I would probably just pull Petco back and put Guerrero central. Um, or maybe Jacques down to a flat 5. We'll see. We'll give Campbell a couple seconds just to see if he is still around um, because he was earlier. Um, Petco back, please. Okay, excellent. And we will. Oh, it's halftime anyway. There we go. Right, here we are at halftime. 5-1 for Badgers, 5-2 for Haggis. Plenty of chances for both sides in the first half. They've not been hugely effective. Um, both had a goal ruled out for offside. Jacques 4-2, taking all of the shots here, apart from the one Montella took, which was ruled out for offside. I guess that's why it's not appearing. Decent enough display from Hippier, from Westerveld, Julian Guerrero, not doing brilliantly, not tackling a lot, but we'll see if he can do some of that in the second half. It's going to be uphill for Haggis, let's be honest. They're down in 13th place. They're struggling for wins, and they've got a man sent off. It's Jeremies. He'll be out in the next game as well, suspended. Campbell says go till 60. We've got Ashley Lyth, who's been brilliant so far this season with all his 20s over here, 843 average, and he's on an 8 this evening again, as there's plenty of other players. Gat's down on a 6. The Mendieta deal hasn't gone through yet, but Tato obviously opted to not play Didier Gat at the. Oh, sorry, not play Mendieta in this one. Rayet is there, he's on a 6 as well, run until 60. It's the same from the just manager, so that's what we will do. Let's see if we can equal the previous game for action in the first 15 of the second half. There comes Giggs. Westerveld collects it easily. Westerveld had a terrible time at Stanley, to be honest, and eventually got dropped, and now he's obviously sent away. Good chance there for Badgers. Let's see if they have another one just on the 61-minute mark, and they do indeed. And it's Thierry Henry. It's another goal on the hour mark. Devastating cross from Giggs. Badgers are yeah, so that's not updated yet either. Just as in the last game, good start to the second half for Badgers. Managed to keep Badgers without having any shots, and they've obviously managed to put themselves in front through King Titi, I believe it was. Over at Haggis, it's difficult. It's going to be difficult. He's got Tomadero, of course, he can bring on, but what do you do with the midfield? I believe that's the big question. Guerrero is a decent sort of creative option, but when he's in there alone, is that going to be enough? Possibly not. Bauma and Simao not covered themselves in glory either. It's really only Inzaghi that's done a ton of running and had a chance or two. Not able to convert though. Haggis are struggling a little bit here, let's be honest. Down to 10 men, a goal down, and with not brilliant performance by a bunch of their players. But yeah, we will see what the manager does. Meanwhile, it's quite a different quite a different tune being played over the Badgers. Reds on a 6 though is a little bit disappointing for him, but everyone else is doing pretty brilliantly. Matty Holland on a 9 there as well. I'm not entirely sure for what. I mean, decent passing percentage, I guess. Um, we've got Raya going off for Michael Owen, and that's all for Badgers. Meanwhile, at Haggis, we have got um, these two guys back with wee arrows. Cruz for Simao, and Madeira for Kalajinax. So Madeira to center and C. I believe that's it. Those two back with small arrows. Cruz for Simao, Tomadera for Jax, and SC. Excellent. Well, it's certainly doing something. We'll see if it works out. Fred for Guerrero. Why not? Why not get them all done? That's it. Excellent. 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 Good, good, good. Last half hour coming up. Badgers hosting Haggis. Haggis with a bunch of changes. Wee Arrow and Fred. Brilliant. There we go. Excellent, excellent. 15 minutes to play. Isn't it Holland? We'll slow it down for the last 10. Looks as if there's still plenty of chances in this one. Gat comes forward, up to Henry. Giggs with a free kick. He was going to have a go, but nothing came of it. Ashley Lythe heads the ball away. He's been absolutely brilliant for Badgers. Tato did mention before the start of the season that he was going to make a big name out of Ashley Lythe here in season 18, and that has proven to be the case so far. 6 or 7 games in, and he's looking like one of the highest averaging players of the league. Just a couple of minutes left to play now. Fizzled out a little bit this one, although Haggis do come forward now. There's Inzaghi. Will they get a late equaliser header from Montella? Nope, denied space by Holland, and it's not to be unless here. No, it is not. Haggis with a good couple of chances there towards the end, but yeah, it's not the best finishing from either side. 4 shots out of the 19 on target, but Badgers run out 1-0 winners here. Ryan Giggs, man of the match, he got the assist for Terry Henry, who got the winner for them. But yeah, solid overall performance. Chimo Klumpet doing very well there at defence. Haggis always struggling after Jeremy got sent off, unfortunately for them. Um, yeah, not really a lot to say about that apart from that, other than Jeremy's getting sent off did not did not help Haggis. He's been brilliant. When he's really good, when he's on form, you can see here for Haggis 791, 754. He is very, very good. I mean, he still played 28 games last season, so it's not as if he just got 7 yellows and 2 reds, which is sort of a lot. But yeah, he did well, but obviously um, could be better in terms of getting not getting sent off quite so regularly. But anyway, that was Badgers against Haggis. That leaves us with the results looking like this. Badgers won against Haggis, as we just saw. East Coast and Exiles, that was a draw. Sloths lost to Foss Road. Fulchester drew with Vikings, and Stanley in that excellent game 4-1 winners there against Stackington. Table looks like this. Exiles now on 14 points, just ahead of Fulchester and Vikings. And then there's Foss Road just behind them. Stanley and Badgers making up the top 6. East Coast just below the line still with game in hand, same as Los Santos, game in hand for them. Stackington, game in hand. Dudley with 2 games in hand. Sloths with no games in hand down here, and conceding 13, the most in the league. Northern Burn, 2 games in hand as well. They're on 4 points, and Haggis and Sanctity down at the bottom. Again, 1 or 2 games in hand. But yeah, it's a little bit early to say to say what's going to happen. But Haggis, Sanctity, Northern Burn, time for them to pick up some points for those games they've got in hand, and not let the gap open. Sloths as well need points on the board. These are the fixtures that we've got coming up. Next one, you're away to Los Santos. potato. So that'll be fun. Exiles host Stanley. Difficult one for Stanley there against the league leaders. Haggis face off against Northern Burn. Big clash there at the bottom too of the big teams from last season facing off down here at the bottom. We've got Sanctay against Fulchester. Opportunity for Sanctay against a Fulchester side that's shown this evening that you can definitely get a result there, but Sanctay poor start, and yeah, it's time to pick up points as mentioned. Sloss host Dudley Hill, good opportunity for them with a home game. Then it's Stackington looking to reverse their fortunes against Foss Road, previous employers, and Vikings hosting East Coast in another big clash. So all looking very exciting for next Thursday. Packs will be out tomorrow morning. Thank you for joining as always. Hope you had fun. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care, everyone.